Yeah, just I mean, it wasn't pretty for a lot of it, but you end up with I think it was a 19-point win. Just what'd you think of I guess the way y'all got better as the game went?
Uh, Again, if you were in here, this room in the pregame, I told everybody it was not going to be. Lots of reasons, not excuses, lots of reasons. One, we had an extended break. I chose to do that. This group knows that we'll set them up for adversity, which we did. We gave them a really long break. I didn't send them home with this, do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no regimented what to do. Brought them back, played a team that's in the top 200 in the net. I think they're 179 today, 176, wherever. I mean, again, a team that, played TCU close, had Texas Tech into the third quarter deep. Jeff does an amazing job. It's a slow pace game. We knew when we scheduled this game, this would be a great game to come back from, challenge our kids, and see how we responded. We knew it would be a little bit. So that's why I was a little patient. But then I grew impatient because I thought our effort started. We let the fatigue become more tired than we really should have been. So we didn't pass that test like I would have liked to, but they did respond when challenged. And we made a couple of little adjustments at halftime with Miriam rolling to the basket instead of picking and pop. She had an unbelievable third quarter. I thought our defensive intensity in that third quarter, especially in the fourth quarter when Coach went in there and challenged them in the fourth, our intensity in the third was not good. He challenged them as hard as he does, and they responded with a good fourth quarter. So thought we took good shots. If you look at that fourth quarter, that's what I'm going to go home and talk about. The rest of that, challenged them, and we didn't respond as well as I would have liked to have, but they did at the end respond like I wanted them to.
Yeah, y'all have now strung together quite a few really good defensive performances. I know I heard Shauna Green say to media the other day how y'all took away the 3-point line from them. Well, just what do you think, especially of y'all's 3-point defense?
I think with time and enough film, Coach Schaefer and his defensive staff is going to put together a good scheme. I'd give about half of our practice time to defense. We used a little bit more on offense and get back in shape. So this time, but I think our group does a really good job of executing what he wants defensively. We make some mistakes, and every mistake that we do make is obvious, and we try to correct it as we go because we know what's coming. I think our roles are very clearly identified. I think for the most part, they are genuinely accepted. And our kids are doing what they do. I mean, you look down here and Mary, Saylor, again, don't ever get used to seeing 17 defensive. I mean, it's amazing to me that a kid can continue to do that against the people we've played. I don't know where the number falls today to Dorita, but she knows what I'm talking about. Our wins are in the top 10. We have one of the top 10 average wins of our 13 now of anybody in the country. Not just our league, but the country. So our wins are against good people, and we know how good the losses are. So for her to do this for a sustained period, for Talia to do what she does, for Miriam, for Mac to continue to do what she does, Sam changing the pace of the game offensively when we needed to change the pace, Jenna, valuable minutes for us, Keith's good minutes for us, and Christina. So I think everybody's role now, we're going to sit down over the next 2 weeks and really have some deep conversations about executing. But for us to win all 4 quarters against those guys, I don't know how many times they've been beaten all 4 quarters because they've had the lead against some good teams. So I'm going to roll into 24 pretty happy with our non-conference schedule.
Last thing I'm going to ask is that third quarter you talked about getting Miriam involved. Was kind of, I guess, whenever y'all started create separation, and Talia just kind of finished them off with some big buckets. Just what do you think of those two?
Well, that they took what the defense gave us. They were really indicative of, when she drove it in and had the close play, it was a charge or an and one. It was a really bang, bang play. They started doing that, so it was opening up the roll. And then we took advantage of that. Then it opened up the drives again. So just that we are learning not to try to force the action. I can't control what Incarnate Word does on their defense. Neither can they. If they want to run over there, then we've got to have the roll option. If they're going to take away the roll, then Talia's going to shoot mid-range jumpers and step back threes. And, I think as long as we can continue to take what defenses choose to allow, I still think we shoot it better than what our numbers say in practice. I think we're going to have some moments where we have nights when that's back to, again, 13 or 14 for 28 instead of 8. But I thought our quality of shots was pretty good. I thought our balance was good. For us to hang in there on the boards, we were down at half when that area, and we gave up too many offensive ones, but I thought we'd clean that up.
You mentioned the 7-day layoff. Just how important going into SEC play, coming off of that, was it to get a win? Obviously, it's like you said, it wasn't clean all the way through, but to go into SEC play on Thursday on a good note.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it wasn't clean. I mean, it was hard, but they're a hard team to play against. So I think for our confidence, it's obviously important. It's hard to lose games, period, no matter when they are. But I think it'll help our confidence. I think it puts a nice little bow on this preseason as a whole. I think we have enough veterans in the locker room that are talking to our young kids. It does change at Kentucky on the 4th. But the goal's still going to be 10 feet high. The ball's still going to be round. All of those things are there. Kentucky's having to go through the things just like we do, as does everybody else. I said earlier on, the team that handles these 2 weeks without class, I think we'll get way ahead of everybody else. So I want to make sure we get off to a good start. This is, step one of about a 10-step thing that needs to go right for us. Recover, watch a little bit of film, fix the things we need that were controllable, and then we'll start turning attention to scout specific to Kentucky.
You mentioned the importance of starting quickly in SEC play. In your experience being here, what is the key to getting a quick start in SEC play off the non-con?
Having kids that understand, how it is different. That a play today, maybe that we look back on and go, you're going to look back on that, and it could be the difference in the game. The value of every single possession. It's really easy for our upperclassmen to tell that story because we had 6 games in league last year that were easily decided by one possession. So I do think making that transition, we've had moments where we can point that out, but now it gets to be magnified. Everything's just going to magnify. Intensity will magnify. Pressure will magnify. Focus will magnify. And just having them as prepped as they can be. I can't help Talia and Carly Keats and Jenna Lawrence and Christina and those guys, and really Miriam too. Miriam's in a new role. Those kids, they're going to have to experience it a little bit, but I'm going to really rely on Mac and Sam and Saylor too, who played every game last year in the league, to make sure that they don't just hear it, that they understand it.
Thing for me, 15 games here, non-con. You mentioned the tough opponents you've played. What's the biggest thing you've learned about this team throughout that stretch?
That they are adaptable to a number of different things. Like, we've thrown a bunch of stuff at them, and they just kind of keep taking it and keep coming back. I think I still don't know yet, but I think this is a group that when the adversity hits that we're going to deal with, it's coming. I think this is a group that'll draw closer together than pull apart. I think I've learned that. I'm not positive, but I'm getting more and more certain of it because of little things that we see, we hear, that happen in practice, that happen on the bus, that happen in the locker room. I'm more convinced that at times last year where we got off our path a little bit, I think we will recognize it earlier, and I think we will course correct faster when those adverse things do happen. All right. Happy New Year.